I like the fact that Kyle's playing catch up a lot of the time with this. I mean, he's a dude. He's a young soldier. He's a follower, a disciple of John Connor's in the resistance in the future, and that's a kind of world I can place myself in fairly easily, I think. And you know, I was on board with that really simply. But when he goes back, circumstances have changed. It's not the mission that he was anticipating, and he's kind of getting thrown curveballs for the rest of the movie. And so that kind of made it, you know, made that journey a little more interesting. And then to be able to deal with all the kind of emotional terrain that there is in this script, that's when it sort of was, you know, it really appealed to me. And it was this kind of, it wasn't just this action film. It wasn't just playing a soldier in this and kind of ticking boxes. It was like, no, there's actually some density to this, you know, this role, and I'm going to have to work hard at it. And I could just kind of, you know, see the journey ahead being a challenging one, and that always appeals to an actor. Kyle is loyal to the cause that John's leading. You know, we learn in this story, we kind of revisit the fact that he was saved by John, and so he's kind of this older brother, paternal sort of figure, you know, and you know, kind of the savior of mankind. He's looked at as somewhat of a messiah. And to kind of be close to that and part of his kind of inner circle is, yeah, is kind of where Kyle sits, and that's really cool. That's what makes, I guess, it so interesting when, you know, when things change and they derail, and you know, we kind of see John in a different light at times, and yeah, Kyle has to battle where his allegiance lies. Kyle kind of knows that he's in love with this woman to some extent. I don't know if he really understands what that means, or if, you know, if his feelings have even evolved that much. But Sarah's an idea. She's this kind of this dream, this kind of reflection thing that he's been told about, you know, for most of his life. And I think she sort of, I mean, he understands what she means to John and all this sort of thing. And so when, you know, he puts his hand up to go back to save her, it's, I mean, it's huge for him. I mean, this is his moment, you know, to find out what that means. And yeah, I guess he's just kind of drawn to that. And then when he gets back there and she's not the waitress, you know, the kind of, the scenario we're perhaps familiar with from the first film, he's totally thrown off guard. And not only, you know, is she not working in a diner, she's, you know, she's a highly kind of trained, evolved, intelligent killer herself. And kind of more badass than Kyle is, I think. And that probably, you know, disrupts things even more for him. He's totally untrusting of this machine that's, you know, kind of a father figure to Sarah, I guess. He's grown up in a world where, you know, these things destroyed the human race. They're the enemy, they're the devil, you know, kind of the epitome of evil. And he's been fighting him for half his life. So, yeah, has kind of no time for him, totally lacks understanding for her kind of love towards him and dependency and all that sort of stuff. And the journey of the movie, you know, explores that, and that relationship evolves as well, I think, for both of them. You know, there's some comedy to be played there, and that's been really fun working with Arnold and that sort of stuff, and some of those scenes where, you know, we have this kind of dysfunctional relationship. And a lot of the movie is the three of us kind of on the run together. And so it's great because you just have a really interesting dynamic where, you know, they kind of all feel differently about one another. And yeah, it's fun to see where that goes. He's playing the same character, so you might assume that nothing's changed, especially, you know, not being organic. It's, you know, he's playing a machine essentially. But there is this really interesting evolution with what he's done, and I think he's really clever. I mean, he's been shaped by the circumstances somehow himself, and the relationship that he and Sarah have developed has, has changed what we already know about that character. And so we get to see a slightly different version. As for Arnold, it's been great. He's a lot of fun to have around, and super generous, and yeah, just a great ensemble member. It was pretty special for me at the table read when we were hearing the script out loud for the first time, and he said some very famous words, and was sitting next to me, and that was one of those moments where it was just like, yep, there it is, there they are, perhaps three of the most iconic words in cinematic history. Emilia's just wonderful. I mean, it really has been, we've worked together pretty much every single day on this thing, and she's been a great teammate, and we've depended on each other a lot in order to get through, not only the demands of a production of this scale on two actors, but, with, the kind of what we're doing on screen as well. And it's she's a great scene partner and a hard worker, and I knew that was going to be the case from, weeks out from when we shot and we started jamming some of the material together, and yeah, it's cool.